Good morning, friends. Coming to you live from Mexico City after what has been the most exhausting apartment search in the history of looking for apartments. I may make a talking head video about this one day, but it's been challenging. But I'm here. Hi, my name is Rashida Dow. I live in Mexico City. I've lived in Mexico City since 2019. What is time? And I help Black women and their families move abroad, take career breaks, go to wherever they want to go. Today, we're talking about places that you can go that aren't far from the US. This is a video for Black women and their families who have some tie to the US or Canada that stops them from going far, right? Maybe it is that you need to care for someone in the US, or you need to show up every once in a while in the US, or you work in Canada and need to go back and forth for that one day a month you need to be in the office, so you don't want to go far. This video is for you. Tons of good stuff coming for you today. This is going to be one of those audience participation days. They're all audience participation days, but this is one where we're going to do it a little bit together because I know you guys are going to have some opinions. So let's go. Good morning to all the members of my YouTube membership that are here right now. Junket, Amina, Cheryl, one of our three Cheryls. Lisa, Nichelle, Aileen, Kay Stewart, and to everybody else watching live, good morning, good morning. If you're watching from the future, please say hi. Let me know you were there. Make your mark. I'm at a place in my brain where I'm like, we need to be better about Black women. We love to move in silence a lot, but we need to be better about making our marks because they're erasing records and deleting things. And by the time we enter this next Minority Report type year that we're living, they're gonna be like, Black women were never there. What do you mean? There were never free Black women in the US. So yeah, make your mark, say hi. Not just on my channel, but make your mark publicly, wherever you can. All right. It's been a rough week for a lot of us for different reasons. So I'm here holding space. I need you to hold the space with me though. Can we do this collectively as a team? We're holding space for each other. It's been a rough one. Good morning. Hi, friends. Hey. All right. I'm going to start. Like I said, this is going to be a group conversation. So get your fingers together and get ready for to type your responses. It's going to be a little bit of call and response today. All right. So the best places, I have 7 places that I think are great for Black women to move to if they want to stay close to the US or Canada. I'm going to start where I start all the time. Skippers, you can skip ahead if you want to. I don't even care. First on my list, Mexico. First on my list is always going to be Mexico. One reason is that they have a very, very clear visa process, right? Once looking at the rules and the requirements, most people know very easily whether they'll qualify for a temporary or permanent visa to live here in the country. If you don't qualify for a temporary or permanent visa to live in the country, you can also be here usually for 180 days on a visitor visa. Maybe I'm losing the words. On a visitor visa, you can be here for 180 days. So even if you, that's the no more than 180 days. So maybe less, but 180 days is generally what they give it, especially if you use the mechanical kiosks in some of the larger airports instead of speaking to a person. Another way, I have a video about this that's sitting in my computer waiting for me to share and make my mark on the internet like I tell y'all to do. Another great way to stay in Mexico for my friends of birthing age, have a baby. Your baby's a citizen automatically, and you got to do a little bit of paperwork, and you become a permanent resident. If you were going to have a baby anyway, right? Like, I'm not saying get pregnant to do this. I tell Black women with sons and daughters all the time, if they go make you a grandma anyway, right? I'm not saying your son should be going out there to make babies to make this happen. But if a baby's on the way, right? We talk to mothers frequently. Like I said, I have a video about this that is not out, who have much better birthing experiences in Mexico than they would have had in the US or Canada. And so I think that it's a great option. If you're having a baby anyway, have the baby in Mexico. Let them get citizenship in another country, right? As well as citizenship in the US or Canada if you're a citizen in one of those countries. I believe Canada is, yes. Any hoodle. So babies, temporary it's just a really clear path to get residency that is larger than it is for most people. Once you get residency, it's much easier for your parents to get residency or your spouse, because you can do a reunification visa. If it's child under 18, their parents, grandparents are harder. Any hoodle. It's a really good option that's clear. And there's so many different cities. We're getting to the next point, y'all. I am working. Sorry, y'all. All right, Amina says, Mexico wasn't on my list at first. Growing up in the US and visiting, I kind of took it for granted. As an adult, I realized how vast the country is. That's one of the other things that I wanted to talk about, is that people often turn Mexico into a very flat caricature, right? It's either hot beach town or dusty saloon in the middle of nowhere. And there's very little in between in the American imagination. There's a lot, there's super large cities, there's small towns. If you like a very hot, humid place, being down south closer to Guatemala is great. If you like it a big city up high elevation, Mexico City is perfect. You love a small town, where Amina lives in San Miguel, is great. I should have been reading the comments earlier. Mexico has a lot of variety, and it's a great place to be if you need to be close to the US. Flights are often direct to whatever city you're going to, and it's just really convenient. This is why I can't trust y'all. Westy K just said, baby, I'll pull these cracked eggs back together. Baby, I'm not saying have a baby just to have a baby, just to get into Mexico and stay there. Don't do that. But if you were going to have a baby anyway, go ahead and do it. But don't be out here. Let them eggs go, girl. Amina says her husband was just got approved for reunification. So she is an American citizen who got temporary residency, I believe. Yes, in Mexico. Yes. Nope. No, she got permanent. She's a U.S. citizen from Chicago who is now very happy to not be in Chicago because of the weather. Who's riding out the U.S. cold days in Mexico, and her husband was able to get approved for like a family reunification visa, so he didn't even have to really technically go through the application process. So when you apply for residency, you can apply with your family, right? But the criteria is sometimes different. Is different depending on the number of people you're applying with. Or you can apply for one of you and then do the reunification visa later, and now he can live here permanently because she can live here permanently. Right? Easy. Oh. Ayo, Peter, I don't know what you got going on, but I have to block you because you're talking to me in all caps. And when I said hold space for me today, it did not mean lines and lines of all caps. So thank you. Thank you. I didn't even read that, y'all. I don't know what he was talking about. It was too much. It's too much. Yes, hit the like button if you haven't done it yet. Why are you yelling? What about this conversation requires yelling? I don't understand. Oh no, she got temporary for 4 years. My bad. So she has a temporary visa and was able to do the reunification process with her husband on the temporary visa. Yay. I know y'all's information, but I can only keep so much in the brain. Only keep so much in my brain. Okay, so those are some of the reasons Mexico is a great choice. A lot of countries don't make it very clear about how to get the visa. I'm looking at you like 52 countries in Africa. I'm looking at you. The idea that there are some members of the Black delegation that don't want anyone Black speaking about moving anywhere that is outside of Africa because we should all go home. If I can't figure out how to get the yes on the visa process, me, myself, am only going to put so much effort into it, right? South Africa, as far as I can tell, it's clear. Rwanda, as far as I can tell, it's clear. We have someone who moved to Namibia who was in Exodus ASAP, our coaching program. Oh no, who spoke in Exodus ASAP. And her way of getting there was clear. So maybe 51 countries. The rest, I'm not saying all of them are unclear. I'm saying that generally my impression is that there's a lack of clarity about how to get there and stay there long term. And it's also not close to the US, so it's not part of a conversation today. It's also why I'm not an Africa or bust person, because I don't want to tell you that you need to move to a place and I can't figure out for you how you can stay there permanently. So we're going to talk about places that are a little bit easier to get to geographically and that you can generally stay in or finesse your way around. Michelle, as a reminder, says, and 100% of the Black people who complain about Black people not moving to Africa do not live in Africa. They don't live anywhere outside of the US. Nobody who moves to Lisbon is yelling, why ain't y'all moved to Africa? Nobody who moves to Thailand is yelling. Because they know why. They know why. Lena likes my outfit. Thank you, earrings. I got these in San Miguel de Allende on my first trip there. I got these in the larger pair, but the larger pair were stolen. Anyhow, about the outfit, I am very much your news anchor today. Shirt up top. Can't zip it up all the way. Can't zip. I don't know if it's that my arms don't reach or it's too tight. I don't know. The shirt is completely unzipped and I'm wearing sweats down below. Because I don't get on camera without pants on. Totally doing the news anchor thing today. And I am presentable from here up and the rest of it behind me. I hope I don't have to get up because when I said I don't have it today, I really meant it. Okay. Oh, good morning, Darla. All right. All right. Let's see. Okay. So, friends, this is where we get into the call and response time. It's your moment. If you have been to a Mexican city that you really like and you think you could live in, drop it in the comments. And also maybe drop a bit about why you like it, right? I love Mexico City because I'm a city girl. Stephanie always says, my business partner, Stephanie Perry, always says, it's the citiest city that ever citied. It's the, one time someone said to me, I was talking about Mexico City and they're like, oh, I live in Chicago, so I know cities. And I wanted to be like, you're almost there, but you could be ready. Like Chicago could make you ready to live in Mexico City, but it's not the same. It's not the same thing. And it's not the same thing in Espanol, right? It's not the same thing and you don't know any of these rules and you don't speak the language. It's a different experience. But I love the challenges. I do not love the challenge of looking for an apartment, y'all. I looked at a place the other day. I looked at a description for a place. And every time I see some, we're just gonna call it fuckery, in these listings, I send it to Adelia because I'm like, am I reading this incorrectly? Your Spanish is better than mine. Am I misunderstanding what's going on here? Saw a place the other day, a listing, and it was, you needed a guarantor. A guarantor. This is not to say that Mexico is not a lovely place. I'm just venting about my experiences in the past since I've started looking for a place in the beginning of December. My lease is over in 2 weeks. Let's it's not me saying Mexico isn't a great place. I really believe it is. Adelia telling me to breathe. Baby, I was stressed this week. Adelia, I got a positive response this morning. I may actually have an apartment now. But landlord's playing in my face. So we're going to talk about that. While y'all keep writing about your thingy, let me tell you what happened. Saw a place. You needed to get into the apartment. The rent was, it's overpriced, but every single thing I saw was overpriced compared not to just to what I think it should be, but what like I've seen on the market lately, or I've seen in the market under $2,000. So $1,800. You need a guarantor. In Mexico City, a guarantor means someone who owns land, who owns property that is unencumbered by a mortgage or any other lien, and they are willing to pledge the deed of that property for your apartment lease. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. I ain't got it. I don't have anyone who owns I don't know anyone who's going to pledge an unencumbered property for my, okay. Same listing. You also need a cosigner. If someone's already pledging their property, if I don't pay the rent, why do I also need a cosigner? Okay, I need a cosigner. I've been told cosigners need to be Mexican citizens and they want their credit report and all this other stuff. Okay, I ain't got that either. This is not an or, this is an and. We're talking about pledging property. In order to get into the apartment, you need someone who's going to pledge property for you. You need a different person who's going to co-sign that if you don't pay, they'll pay. And you have to pay for an insurance policy that says if you don't pay your rent, the insurance company, this is a regular thing in the country, is going to pay the rent for you. Why do I need these all? The insurance policy says if I don't pay, they pay, and I buy, that's a thing I can buy. So if I have that, why do I also need a cosigner? And why do I need someone to pledge real property? All three of those things? Now, it's rare to see all three of those things together. Some combination of the two is very, very normal. Like I've seen, you need a cosigner and a guarantor. Those three, you would think an insurance policy is an insurance company saying, yes, they give us money up front. If they don't pay the lease, we give you money. They want to rent it. So Valerina's question, do they want to rent it? Yes. Yeah, but Adelia and I have both talked about this before. People who own property in Mexico traditionally are not worried about money. And so, y'all play too much. And so, a lot of properties are owned because mortgages and using credit in Mexico has not historically been as widespread as it has been in the US. A lot of properties are owned outright without any encumbrances. And so if they don't have to pay anybody, it doesn't really make a difference to them if it's empty or not. I had a landlord play in my face with a property that's been vacant for 3 months, play in my face about $120 this week. The difference in rent would be about $120. And he played in my face for about a week. Your place has been empty for 3 months. They don't care. They don't care. And so they want to rent it, but not, here's what I'm seeing. They want to rent it, but not badly enough to not get everything they want as they want it. And so I saw someone else said, someone asked, I think it was why, yeah. Are you getting American prices? No. These are the prices I'm seeing are the prices that are listed for everyone to see. It's not like I'm walking in there and like, oh, for you, we're going to change it. No, I'm seeing the numbers, right? I'm going online to the places that everybody looks and I'm seeing the numbers, and the numbers are just insane. The numbers are insane and the requirements are insane. It's been a really hard week really hard weeks. That's why I need us to be gentle today. But now I'm going to go back to before I go back to your comments, Amina play too much. A Mexican husband may have all those things. So now I got to look in order to get an apartment, I have to find a husband too. I don't want to be homeless in 2 weeks. That's all I want. Why would I do this? House sitting retiree says, why would someone give their property up if someone else can have a lease on a place to live? Clearly a scam. Somebody's trying hard to steal property and get paid. No, this is very normal. This is a very traditional way in Mexico City to get it. This is the traditional requirement, is a guarantor of an owned property. And it has to be in the city or maybe in a couple places in the state of Mexico. It can't be like somewhere else in the country. It's not a scam. This is historically how it's done. But why would I, with a property with unencumbered, offer it up? It's not a scam. It's just years ago, and this is relevant for all of us, and we're going to get back on track real quick. Years ago, I talked about how if you're coming into a community that doesn't operate the way you're used to historically from home, and your life isn't set up the way that community you're moving into is set up, you need to find some ways to bridge the gaps that are automatically going to be there, right? This is something that works in Mexico because a lot of property, like I said, the majority of property, I don't know if now I'm sure it's still the majority of property is owned without mortgages. And so grandma could always be like, yeah, I'll pledge the house for grandson to have an apartment. Because if you don't pay the rent, I'm gonna pay the rent anyway, so it don't matter, right? That's a gap that I can't fill because I have not grown up in a place, I've not grown up in Mexico with family who bought property back in the day without a mortgage, right? So even though it seems strange to us, it's the way the community has functioned for decades, if not longer. And so that's a gap I have to fill. I have found that by offering them a couple months extra deposit, a couple months extra rent as deposit, those requirements have gone away quite a few times. Not all the time, but a couple times they've been like, yeah, sure. If you give us more money up front, we don't care about none of that stuff. It's fine. So that's how, honestly, that's how I plan on filling most gaps I see in Mexico or wherever I go. It's money. What? Right? The gap filler right there for me is money. Not everyone asks for this. I know someone who got into an apartment recently who just had to get an insurance policy. No big deal. They were less particular than I am. I'm a very particular tenant. I'm looking for something very, very specific. And so I'm finding less of it on the market. And what I'm finding has a lot of requirements. Anywho. Why? Yes. Do the research, Dr. Bell. I need to know why we're living like this. Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. Yes, Jalen. I was in Spanish class this week, and every time my teacher asked me how it's going for the past 2 weeks, I've been like, I'm still looking for an apartment. So I'm still stressed. She knows I'm stressed. There's 4 of us in class. Every person in class, there's 4 of us in class. The 2 white men have Mexican female partners. One of them met his partner 3 days after joining. And the woman in class has a partner from Spain. I'm the only single person in class. My teacher told me to stop looking for an apartment and start looking for a boyfriend. And it's like, we don't need the hoes, we need the homes. Let's focus. Like, lady, I see where you're going. We were talking about practicing Spanish. And she was like, you wasting all that time looking for an apartment. You need to be looking for, she specifically said boyfriend. Let's wait. Let's wait until the search is over, please. Thank you. Let's get me a place to live first, and then see what else happens. Where will I live? In this man's house? Probably in some multi-generational living, so I got to see grandma and grandpa every morning. Do you think that owners are keeping these apartments open for short-term rentals via the World Cup events, reduce prices after? No. It's just chaotic. All right. Oh, Dr. Bell. Yes, you got to what Adelia and I were talking about yesterday. Perhaps it is written so that only rich Mexicans are able to rent the apartments. Adelia and I had a long talk about this yesterday because the apartment we saw that needed all. We saw the place that needed all three things, and then they were like, if you can pay and sign some promissory notes, sure, take it. The apartment we saw was very much giving. This is not for rich Mexicans. So the requirements aren't lining up, because who's going to pledge your property for this apartment? Who? Right? It's not. Anyway, so yes, so that is part of the system, and it does. When you live in a class of society, a lot of things favor the rich. So yes. Anyhow, we were talking about the cities you love. So let me scroll back up to the comments and get there. Okay, let me see. Where? Okay, here's Cheryl. Cheryl number 2. All right, I'm back. Hey, Halisi, and maybe Rick. All right, first on the list, Coffee Brown says Taxo is isolated. It's isolated, it's easy to get around. It's difficult to get to for tourism. It's beautiful there. I haven't been to Taxco, and I need to go. But I hear great things about that. It is in central Mexico. It's a couple hours from Mexico City. It's known for its silver mines. Here, it's beautiful. Fluoride PNW says, I love CDMX, and my asthma said no. Guadalajara is working out quite well. Yay, good for you. Guadalajara isn't city enough for me, but, right? We're not talking about me. We're talking about you. The air quality, it's very clear today. I can see clearly to the mountain. This is how I know how the air quality is. I have a great view from my apartment. And we're surrounded by mountains. If I can see the mountains, I'm like, yes, open the windows. If I can't see the view of I can say this now because I'm moving in 2 weeks. I'll show my door. The view of my apartment, I have to see past Polanco. If I can't, to get to the mountains. If I can't see Polanco, or like all the way to the other side of Polanco, I'm like, oh, keep them doors closed today. Turn that air filter on. But I can see clearly to the mountain. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. If you're in Mexico City, get outside, go for a run. A short one. All right. But usually the air is, a lot of days the air is brown. I'm not going to say usually, that's not fair, but I can't see the mountains a lot. It's seasonal too. Lenora is enjoying Merida, Mexico. A lot of people do. A lot of Black families are going to Merida, Mexico. It's now the second safest city in North America. I think a Canadian city beat them. I don't know which one it was. It used to be the number 1 safest city in North America. So Merida is very popular. The gentrification fairies have hit them with a little pixie dust as well, because those prices are going up and are going to continue to go up. But it used to be a rather inexpensive city to live in, and a place where people could live on Social Security and get by and not have a problem. Tamara Butler says, Playa del Carmen, love beaches. Ain't it hot though? When you get to the beach, isn't it so hot? All right. The humidity? Mascara Mannequin says, I went to Cancun and Playa del Carmen. I felt so settled there. Can't explain it, but Mexico felt so right in my spirit. Yeah. It's a really great, place. And Playa del Carmen specifically has a great community of Black female expats. I would say, not all, but while Merida is very family, Playa del Carmen has a history of being more like the single ladies coming to hang out. Ballerina has been to San Luis Potosi a few times. It's very nice. I never considered that, but that's a good one. All right. Winning in the workplace. K? I think that's K. I love PDC, although it's not for me long term. The beach, restaurant, Black people, all good, but not enough culture for me, a little too small. If you're looking for a small town with Black people and beaches and restaurants, even someone who doesn't love it long term has great things to say about it. KB says, I love Oaxaca because of the community, food, culture, weather, outdoor spaces, and lots of things to do. Cheryl at Soul Sister Circle says, I love Puerto Vallarta. I was going to move to Kuala Lumpur. I was going to move there until Kuala Lumpur stole my heart. I think she might be in Puerto Vallarta, y'all. We're going to find out. Oh, there was something I needed to respond to up top. Oh, Kemi Smitty says, Rashida, are our facilitators in Exodus ASAP from Mexico and Panama? There's contact information for the facilitators in Exodus ASAP for some that we have worked with and other members of our community have worked with and had good results with. Exodus ASAP is the monthly coaching program that Stephanie and I run. And Amina is our community manager. I know words. Okay, Cheryl says San Miguel de Allende because I like the people, the food, the culture, of architecture. So far, it's the only place I've visited, so this might change. San Miguel is known for all those things, right? The culture of architecture is a great place. Another, Danielle has positive things to say about San Miguel because of the weather, art scene. It's such a small, cute town. I also like the proximity to Mexico City. She'll be kicking off her sabbatical there in April. Yay! Congrats. All right. Amina, also for San Miguel de Allende, shortened to SMA. It's a soft landing in terms of community, and there are some English speakers. It's relatively small and easy to navigate with the driver. I like my house too. Her house is beautiful. I think it's like a third or a quarter of what I'm going to be paying for a place that is a quarter of that size. I'm very upset. I'm very, very upset about that. About how expensive the rents are because I love San Miguel de Allende. It's my favorite small town in Mexico. And it's a 4-hour bus ride from my favorite big city in Mexico, Mexico City. Love these two places. The difference in housing pisses me off. And I know it makes sense, right? Like I'm not arguing about what it should be. I can still be mad about something irrationally. I'm irrationally angry about it. Please and thank you. All right. Chelsea, Too Smart, says, good morning, Rashida. Querétaro is a city in Mexico that I could live in. Why? It's not as overwhelmingly large as Mexico City. It has things to do. The people were nice also. Yes. Great, nice people. Aileen says, Mazatlan is just because of the community and its soft landing. If your Spanish isn't the best, since it's a cruise stop, you'll also run across English speakers, but it's gentrified south of Central. So soft landing, we love a soft landing. I'll never talk you out of a soft landing if that's what you want. Right? Listen. All right. Let's see. Oh, Lisa said Cuernavaca. A couple more people said SMA. Cuernavaca because lovely spring weather, lush green spaces, colonial architecture close to Mexico City. Okay. And then someone, Alicia didn't comment it, but I know she likes Morelia, but I don't know if she would live in Morelia or just visit. If you're still here, Alicia, let us know. Let's see. I'm coming back down there. I'm still in the comments, y'all. Oh, Dora Lewis says Puerto Penasco, 4-hour drive from Phoenix, Arizona, slow but lovable. Oh, okay. So I'm not familiar with it. I don't really do the north so much. I want to go to Monterey, but I haven't really done the north as much. Stay a little further south. Do they want you to sacrifice your firstborn as well? If they could, they would for these apartments. If they could, they would. And the raw remind us that outside of Mexico City, the renting requirements don't tend to be this intense. For some reason, it's just crazy here. 23 million people is probably why it's so crazy. There are 23 million of us here. So the place you want to rent, some other people want to rent it too. Celeste says, if I had to get remarried to stay in a place, I'll be homeless with a cardboard sign. Girl, I don't want to do that. Let's see. Wise Word CK says mate searching is the route that many immigrants take for various reasons, not having to do with affection. I thought it was interesting that both of the men in my class had Mexican. They were the only ones with Mexican partners, and it was the white men. But it's none of my business. Interesting, and then I moved on to something else. Mm. Oh yeah, Junket's. Oh, I can see clearly now the smog is gone. Junket is. Where are you, Junket? I think you're just talking about me. Or are you here? I don't know anymore. I can't show you my view because I'm on a desktop, and so I would have to like turn the desk and you wouldn't see it really well. But maybe I'll post a photo later of my view. Alicia says she loves CMX, still holding out hope. Hope I can still afford something to rent when I can. I'm ready to move. Alicia. Part of my struggle is that I am being more specific than most people are. It's not, if you're open to more, like I really want an outdoor space. I really wanted a terrace or a rooftop. That cuts down, right? Like in any, say there's a 12, I've seen a lot of like 12 unit buildings. In a 12 unit building, there are probably 2 units that have rooftops. So even if all 12 were available, only 2 of those would work for me, right? So it's just, I'm particular about what I'm looking for. If you are just like, anything, you know what I mean? Like, not that anything would do, but you aren't requiring so many things. I have quite a few things on my list that are hard to find. So I got a few different hard to find things combined together, and it's making that's part of the reason it's challenging. Yes, I thought it might be Quebec. At least it says Quebec City is the #1 safest city. Yeah. Alicia says Morelia is super cute as well. It's a smaller town, but offers lots of events, walkable, and things to do. All right. Let's see. Go ahead and press that like button. Would you ever consider living in San Miguel de Allende and visiting CDMX as a more cost-effective compromise? Nah. First of all, in the words of my friend and mentor in foolishness, Stephanie Perry, money isn't real. So what does it matter? I got to the point yesterday where I was like, I'll just pay. I need a place to live. I'll just pay the money, right? And I was talking to Stephanie, and she was like, "It's just money. It's just money. It's just." You're right. It's just money. Our debate was over about a little bit more than $100, and it wasn't even a debate because he cut off the landlord right from the place I think I'm getting. He cut off communication with me, with the realtor, with everybody. Over, it wasn't even like I could be like, I'm just playing, I'll pay that rent, right? And so we could have worked this out. He stopped talking to everybody. over $100 a month. It didn't have to be like this. I was like, your place has been empty for 3 months. Okay. All right. It's not only Mexico City that has water shortages, but it impacts Mexico City a lot because of the infrastructure and the way we're built. We're built on an old lake bed, and so water, because they filled in the lake. They didn't drain it. They just filled it with like dirt and wood rafts type of things to make a stable foundation, because that's the foundation. Because we're built on water, more or less, the amount of water that is in the earth is really important to the foundation of the buildings. Fun facts. Okay. Alicia says she would live in Morelia. It might be her plan B. Okay. Right. What are we? Do we still want to talk about Mexico, or are we? Is it time to go to another country? Now, Kat, why would you? Why would you? Who's bougie? There's no. I'm offended that you would even think that and say that. Mm. Glass half fullest says Oaxaca. Not for a soft landing, consider La Paz. Or for a soft landing. But for a soft landing, consider La Paz. I like La Paz a lot. All right. I just told y'all that the foundation of a building, the strength of a foundation of a lot of these buildings depends on how much water, how much rain we got that year. Absolutely not buying nothing here. No. When the buildings start sinking into the earth, the buildings here sink. It's a thing. It's a thing. No, I don't want it. I don't want it. All right. Let's see. Okay, Jenny, you got to go back and watch the replay if you just arrived, because I think we're done with Mexico now. We're going to move on to the next country on my list after just 48 minutes, y'all. Skippers, welcome back. Panama. Y'all love you some Panama. Panama City, small towns, an hour away from Panama, 4 hours from Panama City, 4 hours away from Panama City. Y'all love you some Panama. Love you some Panama. A reminder that I can see the comments you leave. My eyesight is funny sometimes, but usually when I'm this far from the screen, I can see the comments. Danielle, I'm going to consider this a win. Danielle booked a birthday suite with a private pool because she heard me mention it before and she never knew. I'm going to take it as a compliment. I'm going to ignore the I'm not saying you're right part in the beginning, because it implies that Kat is right. And Kat wasn't right. I'm particular. I'm very particular. All right. Jay's here. Late but not staying because my power went out this morning in Nashville. Ciao. In Nashville? Yuck. All right. Panama. People love it because it's another place where it's really easy to figure out whether you qualify for the most popular visas, right? In Panama, if it's one person to get the pensionado visa, which sounds like pensionado sounds like pension, and in your brain you're thinking old people. Don't do that. Don't count yourself out. If you're over 18, right, you've already made one of the requirements. The age cutoff for the pensionado visa is 18. 18 to 1800, you can get this visa. If you have at least 1,000 US dollars in permanent income. So if you were in the military and you were disabled, for my younger under Social Security age people, you qualify for the pensionado visa. People like Panama because Panama uses the US dollar, so you don't have to do any conversion in your head. Right? I don't think there's a lot of English spoken, but there's enough, right? It's not like you're going to a place where no one speaks it. But the clarity about the qualifications for, like I said, their most popular visa, the pensionado, is what makes it really good. And then when you get the visa, you get discounts on like flights and meals at restaurants and things like that. People love Panama. All right, Panama crew. Tell me if you're here or if you've considered Panama. Tell me why you love it and where in Panama you would like to live. A lot of, I don't quite know how this works, but apparently I don't want to misspeak, but someone's going to get this right in the chat. I know y'all. So if I get this wrong, please correct me. Military veterans can use their VA benefits at a hospital or more than one hospital in Panama. That's my understanding, is they're using their VA benefits in Panama. So you can get down there with $1,000 if you have $1,000 or more. That's pension, disability, that's permanent, Social Security, any kind of I'm going to receive this for the rest of my life income. That's over $1,000. And if you have any dependents, I think you need to add $200 per dependent a month. Yes. Okay. Flutter by PNW says, yes, vets have benefits at certain hospitals in Panama. Angela's going next week. Yay. Going to explore Coronado Nueva Gorgona area. I don't know what any of that means, but yay for you. Reggie. Wait, no. Y'all are moving too fast. Reggie said Panama City in the El Congrejo community. Thanks, husband. All right. Aileen says, my visit to Panama City was great. Seeing so many Black Panamanians. Love the salsa, dance, culture. Public transport is amazing. But driving is like Mario Kart, and the heat humidity can be a lot. All right, I can't answer this question. Average rent prices in Panama. Now, I'm going to tell you already, it depends, right? But I don't know, even based on different neighborhoods, what the rent prices are. So hopefully someone in the community can give you some numbers. If not, I love the Eartha Waits. So you can go to theearthawaits.com and look there. I'm going to drop a link because I'm sure Panama City is there. Bum, 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 bum. All right. All right, Jonquette wants to know another question. This is, I told you we're doing this as a community today. What type of visa do you recommend if you're not eligible for the Pensionado visa? Is anyone in Panama not on the Pensionado visa? Let us know. Panama City, it's a very melanated city, good nightlife, reasonable cost of living, great and affordable healthcare systems. If I remember correctly, Dr. Bell and Reggie went to some jazz clubs or jazz shows they liked in Panama. So there's a jazz scene. All right. Aileen had an answer to Kelly's question. Average rent can be anywhere from $500 to $2,000 depending on the area and neighborhood. Okay. Darlene about Panama says Boquete, which is a location in Panama, which is located, y'all are making me say words today, located in the Chiriqui Highlands. This town is favored for its eternal spring, climate, coffee plantations, and large welcoming U.S. expat community. Okay. And Danielle, who don't stay home, is going to visit Panama in September. Jalen is in Ghana right now and saying that Panama City is calling her for her next stop, especially the dance scene. Okay. Let's see. What else? Oh. You're talking too fast for me right now. Reggie says, Umami Bodega, live jazz and excellent bartenders. So a recommendation from one of our husbands, our community Exodus. He's an Exodus approved husband. If you hear me say my husband, that's what I mean. He's all of our husbands. If Darlene's okay with that. Cecil Butterfly studies came from Panama, a cost around the city $800 to $1,600, depending on how new the building is, amenities, and whether or not it's furnished. Areas around the city: El Cangrejo, Bella Vista. Celeste likes the Panama suburb of Panama Pacifico. I've heard of this before. Someone we know lives there. Self-contained environment, 20 miles away from the city. I love the people. It had a varied vibe to accommodate many. Yes. Someone we know lives in Panama Pacifico, which is close enough for her to access Panama City, but she's not in like the thick of it all. All right. What else do we have to say about Panama, y'all? The people who live, a couple people mentioned, sorry, real quick, a couple people mentioned the Friendly Nation visa option. I just don't know enough details about it to tell you specifically. Not sure the economic threshold. I never hear anyone talk about it. It's the Pensionado. Everyone who I talked about going there, whether they are a family, whether they are single and older or single and younger, everyone seems to love Panama, right? So I'm not even going to like recommend this to a specific group of Black women. I'm going to say I will tell you who I have heard of who does not love Panama. People who want big cities, right? People who want to feel like you can step outside and do something every minute of the day don't tend to love Panama as much. But yeah, Timberly JT Tex says, is Panama family and child friendly? We had Rebecca on the Exodus ASAP, the Exodus Summit channel. I know what I'm talking about, y'all. Kind of. And she talked about, I'm going to grab the link for you real quick. She talked about moving with her daughter to to Panama City. I can do this. Moving with her daughter to Panama City, and it costing less in Panama City than it cost less per month for her all her expenses in Panama City than it costs just for daycare in DC. So your daughter was still in daycare, so she was going to daycare, but the DC daycare expense covered all of her monthly expenses in Panama, including still daycare. So, I'm going to watch Rebecca's video. I'm going to drop it in the links right now in the chat. Words are really hard today. Words are really, really hard today. All right. Kat says, is Panama as boring as it looks from here? I get the impression that you have to actually look for things to do. I don't know. I don't live there. But someone will tell you. Okay, Junquette did the research. Panama's friendly nation visa. You need, I don't know if this is this Junquette, is this or and? Do you need to have one A, B, or C, or do you need A and B and C? But this is what she said about the Panama friendly nation visa. A job offer, $200,000 real estate purchase, $200,000 fixed deposit in a Panamanian bank. I would assume it's A or B or C, but what do I know? I assumed I wouldn't need a guarantor and a cosigner and an insurance policy, and clearly was wrong. Okay, Junquette says A or B or C. I can tell I'm a little bitter today. All right. Okay, so I don't have much else to say about Panama. I know y'all love it. I'm never going to go up personally for a place with high humidity. Personally, nah, it's not for me. And so that's why I won't be living in Panama. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful gowns. Beautiful gowns. Just that's it. All right, number 3 on the list. Number 3, I have 7 things on this list. We're gonna get there quickly. We're gonna speed it up though. Number 3 on the list is Jamaica. Black people love living in Jamaica. I'm going to give you the warning that Clarice gave, Mocha Moiselle gave when she was on my channel. She warned y'all not to be moving to Jamaica to be with a man. Right? She said almost every time someone does that, they get a little scammed. But she's lived there for years. I did a live stream with her a few years ago. And so I'm going to drop this link if you want to consider moving to Jamaica. She started a business in Jamaica, and I believe that's how she got her visa to stay there. Kemi says Mocha Moiselle is right. We go into some of the girlies that got scammed in that video. It was a fun one. That's not to say moving to Jamaica is some sort of scam. That's to say moving for a man is a scam. That's it. It's not Jamaica. But she loved it there, lived in the mountains, got a car. Jamaica is a place where you can go. I'm not going to say, someone who's lived in Jamaica a very, very long time ago, I'm not going to say it's an easy life, but I am going to say that if you want to be around Black people, if that's important to you, that's a place where you can do it, right? Clarice Mocha Moiselle can help you, can talk to you about how to get a visa to stay there. I don't know what the requirements are for work, like for the business that she started that got her visa, I believe. I don't know their specific requirements, but she's someone that can help you. But Jamaica, beautiful island, great place. Leave the resort. Don't move there for a man. If I remember correctly, in that video, she was talking about a woman who she was moving to Jamaica. Her man asked her to bring all this stuff with her, which, listen, if you're coming to visit me in Mexico, I'm asking you to bring stuff because there's stuff I can't get down here. Or I'm sending stuff to your house and saying, just put this in your suitcase. Just put that in your suitcase real quick. Like it came from a reputable vendor, so it's not drugs. I'm not asking you to mule like a brick of anything. Right? I need that Danessa Myrick blurring thingy. I want it. I can't get it here. Although we have a new Ulta in town, and the Ulta is carrying Pattern Beauty. If y'all haven't been there yet, if you're in Mexico City, the Ulta in Antara Mall has Pattern. Anyhoodle. She was talking about how she brought things for this man. He met her at the airport with his girlfriend, took the things, and left her there. If I remember that story correctly. And then, in my video, y'all, it's hard to remember the things I've talked about online. As you know, I be talking. But in my video about moving abroad without a lot of money, I talked to someone who moved from Canada to Jamaica without a lot of money, and we talked about how she did it. So let me grab this link. All right. So I did see that someone said you need to have a lot of money. Oh, Kemi Smitty said you need to have a lot of money, but we're going to talk to someone who moved to Jamaica without a lot of money. Now, she had a man. She had him in Canada. She didn't move to Jamaica for him. And he does do some work. So you'll hear about that in the video. But neither one of them works full time. Oh, the other Cheryl, our third Cheryl of the day. I told you we have 3 Cheryls in my community. Says, Pattern may work for your hair, not mine. I've never used it. I thought the girlies love Pattern Beauty. No? Has Tracy been playing in our face? I don't know. Danielle taking everybody on vacation but me. Everybody. Danielle's taking You're taking your daughters on vacation again and haven't taken me once. You see how that doesn't make sense? You see how that's very confusing to me, Danielle? I'm very curious about what they have done to deserve she took them to Italy for like 7 months last year or the year before. I don't know what is time. Maybe a year before. She ain't never taken me on vacation. Anyhow. Oh, what am I doing? That's not what I meant to do, but thank you for the information. All right. Danielle, stay going outside somewhere. All right, I think we have covered. The girls are in debate over Pattern right now in the chat. Some love it, some hate it. I've never tried it. Out of curiosity, since it's here, right? If you love it, what product have you used and what did you use it for? Drop it in the chat. Y'all talking about it anyway. Okay. The Raw loves a pattern leave-in. Hey, Just Sassy, the first place was Mexico, then Panama. Now we're talking about Jamaica, and I think we're moving on to our next place. You should all be like Danielle, not taking me on vacation. Is that what you meant, Jenny? Is that it? It couldn't be what you meant. Couldn't be. All right. Next on the list, Colombia. Remember last week? Remember what I said last week? Y'all remember what I said last week? The unsmarts. The unsmarts show up and they can never just be quiet. What is this? A woman feminist group? In a video about telling Black women where they can go and still be close to the US, a white man showed up saying, what is this? A woman feminist group? You could be so quiet. But the unsmarts don't know they're dumb. And so they show up here. Yuck. You're not Black. You're not a woman. Wasn't talking to you. Go do something else. Go be unsmart somewhere else. What are we doing? Child. Obsessed, in the words of Mariah, while talking to that other white man. Why are you so obsessed with me? Obsessed. Get a hobby. Get a hobby. Child. They're so unsmart. I swear. Woo, so unsmart. Okay. What is this? You know what it is. We talking about your dumb ass. Get away. Okay, Colombia. The people love Colombia. When I went to my first day in Cartagena, a car pulled over and asked me for directions. And I was like, I made it. I don't know shit, but I made it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I have, yes. I look like I'm from here. You asking me. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So Peaceful Butterfly says, Colombia is amazing. It pleasantly surprised me. Very modern, green, and economical, lovely people, and great food. Colombia is another city, another country like Mexico, where there's a lot of diversity. You want to be in the beach, you can be in the beach. You want to be with Stephanie in the mountains and a little bit of that soft, drizzly rain a couple times a week, you got that too. You got options. She loves, Bogota is the first city I visited in Latin America, and I've loved it. I've loved it since then. I still love it. I still love visiting. It's a great city. I'm going to be in Medellin in the fall in the summer for their flower festival, because I hear great things about it. And I've never been to that city. And that's a city that digital nomads swear by. So I want to go. Santa Marta, I believe, was the first free Black city in the Americas. That's right, right? Am I just making that up? It's Santa Marta? You'll tell me. This is why we community together. I don't have to know everything. Lisa R says, love Cartagena, felt so at home, but also felt too chaotic to actually live there. I don't know anything about the flower festival except their flowers. It's in a city I've never been to before in a country I like. That's not far away. So I'm going. Really basic trip planning. Very, very basic. I want to be there. Okay. Tell us more about San Andres, Colombia, Angela. I've heard of it before, but I don't know anything about it. Ashley likes Cartagena, also blended in with locals. I recommend the city of Jardín, beautiful, walkable, and nature abounds. Do we have Exodus Summit members in Medellin? I'm sure we do. I just don't know who's there right now. Reggie, I hope to see you there too. Although I don't believe your travel plans, Reggie, because y'all be all over the place. I don't actually believe I'm going to see you there, because aren't you supposed to be in South Africa? Ooh. I say Nikki says, Bogota will be my first city in South America, my first time in South America next month. Yay, I'm so excited. Wish I could be there more for a week. It's not a warm place. Stephanie's told y'all that. Beautiful. It's high altitude, beautiful, lush green city. Oh, wait. General D says I found Bogota kind of sleepy for a big city. I could see that. It's not like boom in your face, huge city. It's not a huge city. It's a big city, but it's not like New York or Mexico City. The Raw's wrong about this. I only stopped in Cartagena during a cruise, and when eating, I was like, where's the seasoning? Where's the spice? I don't know where you went to. But when they put that fried fish on my plate, the rice and peas cooked with coconut, the patacones, when they put that on the plate and walk away and come back and ain't nothing left except the spine of that fish, because I done ate the head, baby, more of that. Every time in Cartagena, when they were like, wait, the fish, them plantains, the rice and peas. Gracias. I ate so good. I ate so good in Cartagena. But I'm also not a hot spice girly, right? I like someone in the kitchen to know what they're doing when they do a little sprinkle of this, a little dash of that. But I'm not like a hot sauce person. I don't need it to be like fiery. So, we like different things. That fish, that fried fish. Okay. Angela says San Andres is an island where the population is primarily an Afro-Caribbean ethnic group called the Raizal. I'm laughing at how technical the sentence was, Angela. And now I want to know what you do for a living. Very curious. It was great. All right. Okay. Cat attack. Just returned from Colombia. I had a very nice time, but I feel more connected to Panama, especially Bastimento. I don't know Bastimento. Panama. I am a woman of the diaspora. I choose how I pronounce my words, how I want to pronounce them. I take a little bit from here, a little bit from there. So the Jamaicans in the audience, like Carmen, should mind their business. I did say plantain. Please and thank you. I am a woman of the world. The words come as they do. If you don't know, there's a bit. You're Black watching this. If you're If you're Black, you probably already know, but there is a debate about how plantain should be pronounced. It's plantain, not plantain. It's plantain. If you didn't know that, welcome to the islands. All right. I can always tell. I was a middle school reading / English teacher. The commas in that sentence, said I know. I know when I see it. All right. Quick question. Anyone loving Manizales? Please describe climate, hot, cold temps, near medical facility, public transportation, cost of living, affordable, etc. I got none of that for you, head out of a sand gran. So hopefully someone else can too. Y'all be so loud and wrong around here. Plantain. What Jalen said. I'm not even gonna say that word on air because y'all gonna tell me I'm wrong. And I told y'all to hold space for me today and be gentle. Oh, you can see my shirts are really unzipped now. Hold space for me and be gentle. And y'all are. Is it pecan? Pecan or pecan? Plantain. If it was plantain, that A wouldn't be there. That second A would not be there, but it's there for a reason. Wait a minute. I bet you anything, Angela, our middle school reading / English teacher, agrees with me. And if she doesn't, I'm not going to tell y'all. I'm just going to probably delete her comment. So if she agrees with me, because she knows I'm right, it's plantain. That's why that second A is there. Okay. Maduros, sí. Yes. All right. Okay, so this is walk with me a little bit. Celeste says, I heard that Bucaramanga, I think that's how you pronounce it, Bucaramanga in Colombia has perfect weather and really good hospitals. The only thing I know about Bucaramanga is that for a couple seasons on 90 Day Fiancé, a lot of the women were coming from Bucaramanga, Colombia. That's literally the first time I heard of it. And the only time I'd heard of it for a while, for years. I was like, oh, here's another one from Bucaramanga. Okay. All right. Just put the food on the plate. Why does it matter how I say it? Just put the food on the plate. Let's go. And Valerina had an answer for out of a sand gran about Manizales in the comments. Oh, this is, you know what? You're like, I would have never even thought of this. The whites are calling them plantation chips. I would have never, like, I have a thing about me that's very true. And it is that if someone reads my name on my ID, on any piece of paper, and they say it, and they add an N to make my name Roshinda, it is 100% of the time, based on history, I've lived in this body with this name, 100% of the time, if someone says Roshinda, it's a white person in America. And I've never quite figured out why Roshinda makes more sense to them phonetically than Roshida, especially when there's no N in the word at all. You didn't like move an N around. And it confuses me how we got to Roshinda when Roshida, if you would just, anyway, the only time I hear that mispronunciation or misreading, it's from a white American every single time. In Mexico, they just be like, girl, I don't know. I don't know how to do that. I can't. We don't do those letters together. Like literally, like looking at me confused because I have never heard this name before. So very much like, what are you talking about? But they don't add extra letters. Let us be like, I don't know what you're saying. Fine. But I would have never expected plantain to become plantation chips. That's confusing to me. Because what? Plantain? I guess it's just a hope and a dream of going back to their good old days, huh? All right. Every time I hear Russian, I just look at them like, you know, non-reading ass. Okay. Dr. Darlene Bell says, I know many Afro-Colombians from Chocó, Quibdó. Apologies to anyone from that place, because I'm sure I said it wrong, in Colombia, but I don't think it's necessarily expat friendly. I believe my impression of Colombia is that there are a lot of places where you can see a lot of Black people, but you may not want to live there. All right. Okay, so we did Colombia. A digital nomad visa is what I would recommend for people getting into Colombia. It's how I see a lot of people entering. I think they're also coming and staying on on a tourist visa, or you can be like the sex perverts. What do we call them? You know who they are. What do we call them? You know what I mean when I say sex pervert. Okay, Colombia is 180 days in a calendar year you can stay. Passport bros, thank you. It was not coming to me, and sex perverts came first. So yes, you can stay for 180 days in a calendar year. You also president. Celeste, what do we call them? We call the sex perverts president around here. Woo. Yeah, so do what the passport bros do. You can go down there and find you a partner who wants to be with you because she really, really loves and values and cares for you. Or to stay down for 180 days, then come back the next year. I'm not saying do what the sex perverts do. I'm saying see what loopholes and techniques they use for being in the country, not for being sex perverts, just for being in the country, and use those. You can be in Colombia for 180 days each year on the passport, or like I said, a lot of people get a digital nomad visa. But don't let me catch you being a sex pervert in another country. I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm just going to not think very highly of you. But let's think about that. Let's be clear. I am all for women expressing their sexuality however they want to. If you want to go to another country and while you're there, you want to pay for a little whatever, a lot, please. If you're going to pay for it, let it be a lot. Enough. A good amount for you, right? If you're going to pay for it. But if you're going to countries just to take advantage of economically disadvantaged people, and that's your whole goal of being in the country because you can't get laid at home, I'm gonna talk about you. But if you're just there and you're like, hey, I'm here, I might as well. Whatever. Dara said, get a money back guarantee. I don't know how that would work. I'm curious. We may need to sit down and whiteboard this with a money back guarantee. Take the information they have about how to be in these countries for specific periods. Don't take their crying on the internet because they got robbed because her uncle showed up with his boys because she was never going to sleep with them anyway. And this was all a setup. Don't take that from them. Let them have that. We're going to let them keep that. They can have it. They can have more of it. Thank you. Okay. All right, Colombia. Oh, one thing I should say, and I don't know if you all will all agree with me, but one of my impressions of Colombia is that there are different cities, but different cities have different levels of Blackness, and that shows up in the people. Like, yes, people are moving, and so it's not like this is a white city, this is a Black city, but it is a city that has cities that are whiter than others, and some are whiter and some are Blacker, is my impression. When I was flying, I haven't been to Medellin. I went to a city close to it, so I flew into their airport. And when I was leaving the airport and flying to Bogota, I think, I was the darkest person on the flight, and I was one of two people who I would say is Black. And I was like, does Medellin not have, if I went outside, out of every 10 people, who would I look at and say, oh, they're Black? I don't know. Right? That's not the experience in Cartagena, but in the Medellin airport, that was my experience. Your mileage may vary. Check it out. Do what you do. All right. Another place for ladies love, love, love. Ecuador. Deborah Valerie. Let me get my butt over to Facebook real quick. Deborah Valerie has, because we moved Exodus Summit off of, oh my God. Because we moved Exodus Summit off of Facebook, I'm never on Facebook on my computer anymore. So now I have to go through a 40-step process to verify that I actually am, oh my God, a human. I'm now checking, the robot is making me check that I'm not a robot by checking crosswalks. Because when I did fire hydrants, it wasn't good enough. Okay, I think the robot decided I'm not a robot. Maybe. All this just to get y'all the link to her group. Mm. All right. I'm going to share the link to. I want to share a link to this group, but it's not letting me. I've just given up on this. All of this time. Did Deborah move her group off of Facebook? Someone let me know. Let me go back to the comments. One of y'all knows. Am I the only one who can't find it? Deborah Valerie has a group for Black women who are 50 plus and expats. And even though I'm a member of the group, I can't find it now. So I don't know what's going on. 50 plus Black expats. Am I saying the group name wrong? Any hoodle, there's a group. It's not showing up for me at all. And I know I'm in the group, unless this group is no longer 60 plus Black women expats. See, that's what I get for having the wrong year. I thought it was 50 plus. I thought I was just a few years away from getting in, like really being in. Well, I don't care who tell it. 60 plus. Thank you. Look at y'all telling me the comments. I didn't see it either. All right. So Deborah Valerie's group. Deborah's group is for 60 plus Black women expats. So older ladies as a community, you can join. Older than me by a little bit. Do y'all see this beautiful bookmark Darrell made for me? It's her watercolor painting and then sealed up all nice and pretty for the books I'm reading. Darrell also did that back there. They're twinnies, twins. All right, back on track. Deborah's group is for 60 plus Black women, but they talk a lot about Ecuador because Deborah lives in Ecuador, and a lot of them live in Ecuador because they love it. Cuenca is one of the cities that they love. I don't hear as much about Quito. I think Ecuador is a great place to check out. Yeah, y'all, 60 plus. I don't. Oh, yes. And there's another group. I don't know Jewel, but Jewel's group, African Americans and Ecuador Part 2. Oh. Okay. Jewel's group is still there. African Americans and Ecuador Part 2. She just posted a beautiful 1-bedroom condo with an ocean view for $920 a month, and you only pay for electricity. So, yeah, I don't know. Your Hispanic who lives in Guayaquil, Ecuador. I think I only went to Guayaquil. It's a major drug transit hub, according to your Spanish tutor. I think Guayaquil I only went to get to the Galapagos Islands. I was there for like a day. I don't have anything to say about it. No thoughts. But I was in Quito for longer and one of those other cities. Oh. Ooh, and that apartment comes with a cleaning lady. Okay. Oh. Okay. Here's Deborah, 60 plus Black women expats. We were just talking about you, Deborah. I just couldn't remember if it was 60 or 50. But I shared her group. So if you are a 60 plus Black woman expat looking to make community and you're on Facebook, Deborah's group is a great choice for that. If you are interested in Ecuador and you fit into that criteria, it's a great place for that as well. Oh, Tori message. See, this is what I'm gonna pause for a second. Stephanie and I always talk about the importance of community. And we always invite you to join the Exodus Summit community if you're a Black woman. Whatever platform we're on, we're always like, come. The Exodus Summit community is now a pay what you want community, minimum of $5. Minimum of $1. I know the words. We're not on Facebook anymore, so our platform isn't free, so someone has to pay for it. And you help by paying a minimum of $1 to join the community. But look at this. I couldn't think of what the group was. And then Deborah showed up. And I was like, Deborah didn't just show up out the blue. Tori. And I know they know each other through Exodus Summit. Listen, if two women who are both in Exodus Summit are speaking to each other, I know they know each other through Exodus Summit. I could be wrong. They could know each other because they went to second grade together. In my brain, I'm still like, oh yeah, we did that. We did that. Anyhow, 60 plus Black woman expats on YouTube. I just messaged her. And then here comes Deborah. This is the power of community, right? Now, Deborah can be here and rep her group and say whatever she wants to about her community because Tori messaged her and they're both in Exodus Summit. And that's the magic of the Exodus Summit community. So if you're not in there already, I shared a link, I think, yes. Join the Exodus Summit community. And you'll hear women talking about Cuenca and Quito and Guayaquil. Right? Yes. I'm going to take the credit, baby. I'm going to take the credit. Exodus Summit gets all the credit. Y'all be in there just talking to each other, meeting, messaging each other. Boom, bam. There you go. Andriana Life says, I was just talking to a friend about community, told her strangers are more like friends than someone I've known all my life. Yeah. You get in the right community and you're with a whole bunch of new friends. Jules group, I think, is for all of Ecuador. I don't know specifically, but it's just for Cuenca. Let me see if I can find it. I'm also not in that community. Oh. There's a group called Black Women Expats Cuenca, Ecuador. Oh, never mind. It only has 2 members. And that's not to say a small group. It just would, I want to give you helpful things. And I don't know that a group that has 2 members would be helpful for you right now. Cuenca, Ecuador. I don't see anything specifically, but I'm seeing a whole bunch of expat women in Cuenca, Ecuador groups. Do your Googles. Hit the Facebook if you're on Facebook. See what the groups are. Oh, Celeste. Jewel has become an international realtor and knows a lot about Ecuador. I know about Jewel, but I just don't know Jewel. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, do your Googles. I don't really have anything specifically about groups in Cuenca, but I know a lot of people are there and loving it. Sea views. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, next on my list, because I should be wrapping this up soon. Barbados. Barbados, close to the US. Black people from the US and Canada who go there, Black women specifically, seem to love it. So let's talk about Barbados. What do you know about Barbados? I've never been there. I know that no visa is needed in Barbados for a stay up to 6 months if you have a US passport. So you can come in as a tourist for 6 months. When you said Rihanna, that's it. Yes. For a lot of us, that's it. But it's a place you can stay for a long time without needing to apply for any kind of residency visa. It's a place full of Black people, right? So if you're like, I don't want to be around, if I move abroad, I want to be around Black people, you can do that in Barbados, right? That's why I mentioned Jamaica as well. You can do that in Jamaica. Just like I wouldn't move to Jamaica for a man, I wouldn't move to Barbados for a man. Jaylyn says, amazing food, especially in the Oistins area. Oh, and Ballerina says, Barbados is somewhat pricey. You might need a car, though. The people are nice. Watch the men, though, like Jamaica. At this point, it's everywhere. It really is everywhere. Money-wise, Barbados can be very pricey. Yes. Yes. But pricey doesn't mean that it's inaccessible, right? It means make me to get more creative. And it might mean it for some of us, it might mean it's inaccessible for us, but it doesn't mean it's inaccessible for everyone. But if you could spend 6 months, those of you right now who didn't catch your Ted Cruz flight out of town and are currently in a very cold place with either ice storms or anything like that, snow, 3 inches to 16 inches, who knows? Wouldn't you love to be in Barbados right now? Spend your winter 6 months in Barbados? Wouldn't you love to pull that off? I think that'd be special. You guys were saying great things about the Prime Minister of Barbados. I know nothing. Someone got that. Please tell me someone got that. It wasn't a very good accent. Because the good accent would sound a little not racist. Like a caricature. I don't need to do that. Anyway. Adriana Life says, I want to be where there's no winter ever. What else do we know about Barbados? Mia Motley is brilliant. Yes. We hear great things about their PM. 6-month visa. Black people. Do we need more than that, ladies? Do you need more than that to put it on your list as a potential? Aileen's in Minneapolis. We're sending you all our good vibes right now, Aileen. And they're at -8 degrees. Krishan from Black Set Global is here, and she told you to speak about her move. We're not going to talk about her location today because it's Portugal. And Portugal actually does kind of fall into the not so far from the U.S. If your U.S. location is the East Coast, and you're in a city with a direct flight from your East Coast city from Portugal, it's right, like, that's not that far. It may not take longer to get home than from some of these other places, especially if you have to have a layover or you're in some small town where you got to drive a ways to get to the airport. Six hours across the ocean. Shoot, crossing the U.S. used to be like 4 hours. Now it's getting closer to 6 hours. Oh. Mia Motley, the Prime Minister of Barbados, also supports LGBTQIA rights. Plus. Yay. Okay. So we're saying Barbados. Just because, right? You want to be around Black people. You can be there for 6 months. The Prime Minister seems cool. Check it out. I recognize this was not my most compelling argument, but I'm not here to convince you of anything. That's not my job. I'm throwing out options. Oh, wait. 24 inches snow falling now in Canada. Looks pretty for skiers. 24 inches. Once again, yuck. Oh. I don't know when I would go back outside if it was 24 inches. Like, leave me in here for a week or two. Thank you. Um, okay. One more country on our list. Have any other thoughts on Barbados before we move on? Because we didn't talk about it much. I think more of us should check it out. Nope. All right. Last place on the list, number 7, Costa Rica. Okay, Costa Rica is one that I personally find challenging. Personally. But y'all don't live in this body, so what matters to me doesn't need to matter to you. Okay, I find it challenging because I'm a city girl. And their one city sucks. San Jose, Costa Rica? That's it, right? Yeah. It's a pueblo. Their main city is a pueblo. Now people love the beach towns. As far as their beach towns go, if you go to the East Coast, you'll see Black people. If you go to the West Coast, you'll see white tourists. Like I said, San Jose is not the move, but means to get to other parts of Costa Rica. I don't even like them other parts of Costa Rica good enough to want to fly through San Jose, to fly to San Jose to get to them. And then I got to get in a car for 4 hours and go to the mountains to get to. Now, people love Costa Rica. Black women love Costa Rica. Puerto Viejo, here comes Carmen. Enjoyed it. Yes. But I've told y'all 1,000 times, I'm not a beach girly. So it doesn't make sense to me. It's not worth it. Puerto Viejo. If I was going to be somewhere in Costa Rica, it would be West Coast. Another country you can be in for 180 days on a tourist visa. And I like it. I mean, I like it as far as like of the options in Costa Rica, but some of y'all love it. Love it. Flitter by PNW says, you have to love natural beauty to enjoy Costa Rica, and that means rains too. You know what it might be? I don't like monkeys. I'm uncomfortable around monkeys. And we stayed in a place on the East Coast where there were monkeys over our where we stayed, hotel-ish place. What? Monkeys are like the one animal where I'm like, I need you to get away from me. I need you. And went to that park, Kawita National Park, and was that monkeys or birds? Somebody got mad at some tourists that were there ahead of us. By the time we walked up, they were pelting them with, I think, nuts from a tree, like hard. You just heard like, because they were over a bathroom, and I don't know what the people did, but the animal, I think that might have been monkeys too. I don't remember. They were pelting down whatever it was they could find in the tree and throwing it at people. And we were like, let's wait a few minutes before those people disperse so they don't confuse us with those people. Black Global says the howling monkeys in Sierra trip. Thank God I brought noise canceling headphones. I could barely sleep. I don't go to those monkey sanctuaries anywhere. I walked up all 70 million steps of that one place in Kuala Lumpur. You know what I'm talking about? The color steps into the religious place. The words aren't coming, but you know what I mean. And at the top, there were monkeys, and people were sitting there trying to talk to the little man will rip your face off just because. Like, what do we? They're smart and give no fucks. Like, what? Why are you trying to pet a monkey? No, I got to walk by dodging all this foolishness. Batu Caves. See, this is why I don't have to know things, because I know people who know things. Yes, Batu Caves. I walked all the way up the steps, and the monkeys were at the top. I did not go to that monkey sanctuary in Bali. Because they say you can't have your phone out. You can't have like you have any kind of food. Monkeys are going, pretty much the monkey's going to rob you if there's anything in your hands at all. If your bag is open, they may go in your bag. What I look like getting robbed by a monkey? What do I look like getting robbed by a monkey? Because I came inside the monkey sanctuary? It's the face ripping. it's the I don't know if I ever told you the story here. Once I was in a training and it was being led by this guy who didn't talk about it, but because I'd be looking at people, I could tell he had a prosthetic leg, at least like where the knee was. And this was a corporate work event, so I don't know how it came up. But at one point he was like, yeah, I had a really, really bad experience with a monkey. And so now I just assume in my brain the monkey took his leg. It's probably completely unrelated. But the man didn't have half a leg, and he had a really, really bad experience with monkeys, and monkeys are wild and crazy. All that to say, I was not interested in Costa Rica. But some of y'all love it. And for that, I put it on this list. That man's leg probably had nothing to do with that monkey. But in my brain, I was like, don't play with them monkeys. I don't. Anyway, Costa Rica is more than monkeys. It is. This is not me saying that you shouldn't go to Costa Rica because it's like swarming with monkeys. It's me saying I didn't like the big city. I didn't like the city. And the beaches had monkeys. But they also had beautiful views. The water was amazing. I had a really great time there. I had a good time once I got to the East Coast. I wouldn't want to live there. If you've been to Bali and you've seen the barefoot, dreadlocked Australians, there was a flavor of them in the East Coast, an offshoot, you might say, of them in the East Coast who seem to live in certain parts of the East Coast of Costa Rica, that I was like, I couldn't come here and see this every day. Lady Sarita says, hit the like button, subscribe. You should do it. Uh, Belize is Belize is on the list and not on the list at the same time, right? Like I don't think I've talked to anyone who lives in Belize and is not from Belize and does not have family in Belize and actually loves it there and is not there for some other reason. Like I don't know any Americans who immigrated to Belize and they're like, "Oh, this is amazing." You can stay for a 30-day visa for 30 days on their tourist visa. It's not that I think Belize is a great place to vacation. I don't know what living there would look like. I don't know. So if you're interested in Belize, if you have lived in Belize, hit me up. Maybe we talk about this on the channel. I don't think I've ever talked to someone who's lived in Belize. Barefoot Australians. When I was in Bali, it felt like being unwashed was like a sign of pride. Unwashed bodies, unwashed hair, barefoot. An offshoot of that particular type of human I saw quite a bit of on the east coast of Costa Rica. And I was like, the ocean's right there. Bathing should not be a problem. You look like maybe you've touched water, but no soap in like a month. What are we doing? What are we doing? And it's not, I don't believe in the hygiene Olympics, right? A lot of people are doing too much with that. But why does this seem to be a point of pride? Like, why is this the look you can't wash your hair because you want to have locks in that straight, stringy hair? Okay. Okay. I just, you're not going to catch me in a place where there's a lot of unwashed by choice. We don't have running water is a different thing, right? We don't have access to clean water is a different thing than if I wash my hair, it won't get matted enough for me to call it dreadlocks. And so I'm not going to wash. And you're just going to have to pass me in the smell every day on the street. Maybe I am bougie. Your scalp itches. You could do something about this. Anyway, this is the one. What? My thing is not working anymore. My computer said no, thank you. The only the locals are wearing shoes. Not wearing shoes is not something here. Everybody else has on shoes but you. And the bottom of your foot is black. That's the blackest you're ever going to be in your life. Stop it. Stop the bottom of your foot. When the bottom of your foot is darker than the rest of your body, it's time to do something about this. Anywho, this is not where we're supposed to be today. But I came to say good things about Costa Rica, and then something misfired in my brain, and I didn't meet my goal. But some of y'all love it, and that's what matters, right? Go check it out. If you don't hate monkeys, I don't even hate them. I am scared. I'm not scared of a lot of animals. I'm scared of monkeys. I feel like I could mess with a hippo real quick. Like a hippo would be, they could kill me in a second. But I feel like also a hippo might be like, oh, she cool. Monkeys, I don't I feel like they'd rip an earring out, and I'd be glad, like, oh, this is on my face. Okay. Anyhow, that is not what we're here for. Add Costa Rica on your list of places to check out. East Coast, great. San Jose. You can walk, you can eat, you can do, like, it's not like there's nothing to do there. If you love a small town, a pueblita works. But one for me. I love y'all. I love y'all ride with me about like the most ridiculous things. I'm so sorry. This was not supposed to be how today went, but we have survived. All right, Valerina, the list is, and in a lot of these places, we have specific cities that people liked. So if you're watching this, watch the replay comments and you'll see some more cities. Okay, Mexico, Panama, Jamaica, Colombia, Ecuador, Barbados, Costa Rica is a list of 7 places that Black women love to live in and love to live in, love to spend time in, can spend in time in pretty easily, and can get you close proximity back to the US. Oh, Kelly says she's trying to find the Love Jones vibe outside of the US. Bless it, baby. I don't know. I don't know. Good luck. Like, you can find art, music, theater, jazz, poetry everywhere. Is it going to be a language you understand? Right? Is it going to be, because a lot of art requires a bit of historical context. Are you going to have a historical context to consume it in the way it's meant to be consumed? I don't know, girl. I don't know. All right, Tamika, I have a question, a follow-up question for Tamika. My niece has been living in Costa Rica in Puerto Viejo, places we talked about, since October. She loves it. How old is your niece? This is an important question for me. Tamika, I want the answer to that question. YouTube members, we are going to meet after this, probably by 1:30 Eastern time. We'll meet for a little bit. All right, Tamika, waiting for you. Because I suspect she's under 30. You tell me if she's Black. She's under 30. Let's see. Da na 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 na. Come on, Tamika. Come on, Tamika. While we're waiting for Tamika, what haven't we talked about today? Anybody? I told y'all about my traumatic rental experience. I got an early morning message from, how to connect with Jewel online. I don't know Jewel. I can't connect you with her. Jewel and I have never connected online, so I can't help you with that. But someone mentioned her group was called something Black and Ecuador Part 2. It's in the comments. Tamika, how old is your niece and is she Black? These are the questions I have for you. Tamika probably went off to do something else. All right, so I can't help you with connecting with Jewel, but someone dropped the name of her group in the chat. I should include it, what it was right now. All right. Oh, this is a good one. People who love to grow food and be in community, farm living, etc. love Costa Rica. I know a lady. I like my food on a plate. placed in front of me. I know that when the great zombie apocalypse comes, I'm going to be at a disadvantage for that. But I'd be more interested in becoming like the leader of a zombie tribe than someone who's out there farming. Because if I'm farming and the zombies come, they'll get me anyway. Where am I hiding? In the barn? They can get in the barn. Celeste came with the information. Her name is Jewel Wren, and the name of her group is African Americans in Ecuador Part 2 on Facebook. Thank you, Celeste. There are so many people that especially Black women that I know about in like the move abroad space. Like this person is an expert on this country. This person's expert on this country, but we've just never connected. So Jewel, maybe I can get Jewel to come and we can talk about Ecuador on my channel. I can build a zombie chain to protect your fortress. Oh, sloths in Costa Rica. I don't mind a sloth. They too lazy to do anything. It's the monkeys, girl. The monkeys were attacking people with nuts from a tree. And I was like, I don't know what these people did, but I can tell by looking at them, they probably did something, and you know exactly what I mean. I wasn't there, but if I have to side with the monkeys who I don't even trust, if I have to side between the monkeys and them, I think the monkeys are on the side of right. The monkeys are right in the situation. If I'm the judge, no facts, straight to jail. Straight to jail. Right? I don't need to know nothing. I'm looking at you. I'm trying not to look directly at the monkey so the monkey don't think I'm involved in this foolishness. I know it was you. But still, they were throwing things aggressively. All right. Food on a plate, no labor. No, thank you. I like it on a plate. And I will do what it takes to make it appear on a plate before I got to go to the farmland. All right. So I don't think we're going to hear from Tamika. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Every once in a while, I'm like, somebody's going to see a story about them on here and they're going to be very displeased. Like that man is going to be like, I ran through someone across this YouTube video. And I'm sure someone was talking about me and she said a monkey took my leg. And really, it was just a car accident. How dare you? What the minute I saw you and you said that monkey thing, I made up the story in my head. Another reason I can't trust monkeys. They took your leg. That's it. Anyhow, I'm an inside plant person. I'm not for the outside plants. My place is very green. Inside plants. Outside plants? I need it in a pot, not in the ground. Anywho, okay, so I don't think we're gonna hear from Tamika. We lost her. Tamika, if you catch the end of this, let us know in the comments. Everybody else, we will do this again. Astrid, thank you for joining the membership. We'll see you over in the members only Zoom chat. I'm going to send the information out for it in about 5 minutes. We'll talk at about 1:30. And I will see you guys on the other side. Don't let a monkey take your leg. It's not worth it. What did the monkey give you in return?